Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 46 of the Nutanix Weekly Podcast. I have Mr. Jirah Cox with me today. How are you, Jirah?
Harvey, doing well, man. Thank you.
Wonderful. And we've got Mr. Andy Whiteside is missing today. He is down in Orlando at HIMSS, and I wish I had his weather right now. It's not terrible here, but it's not Florida either.
No, for sure, definitely. He's missed, but I know he's having a lot of fun down there.
Yes. So today's blog that we're going to talk through is Nutanix Cloud Platform on Equinix Metal. Combine the power of Nutanix Cloud Stack with the bare metal performance and global reach of Equinix. This is by Rajesh Shroff. Hope I did that right. Hope I did it justice.
Sounds good, man. The title's a mouthful, but very exciting.
Yes. So this actually is very, very current from March 9th. So just a few days ago. So I guess to get it started, right? We've all talked before about Nutanix's offerings. If you've been listening to any of the podcast episodes so far, we've talked about a bunch of the Nutanix offerings and the way that they have flexibility around where you can deploy it and how you can deploy it. We talked about on-premises, which is, very much still around, even though there is cloud, there's plenty of on-premise still around. There is the ability to run it in public clouds, bare metal on AWS, and coming very, very soon to Azure. We've got technical previews going on with some customers. Jirah, when are you gonna hit the button, man?
I've just learned that it's waiting on me, man. I'm letting you down. I'm so sorry. I'm a real disappointment. I've heard that before.
We're always waiting on you. You're the one. You're the button pusher, right? Mash the button. Let's go. Hit the easy button. We hit the Jirah button. How about that?
I mean, speaking of topical, something that's easy.
Right. So when I hit the Jirah button, what shows up in the sky? It's not a bat. What shows up?
That's a great question. Some can of carbonated water, like, yeah. If I think what I'd most often be spotted with, like, I can't think of. I almost said like a Philly cheesesteak, but like it's probably healthier to say like a can of carbonated water with some kind of fruit flavor in it.
That's hilarious. For me, it would definitely be some sort of food. Some steak, some ribs, some brisket, something.
Oh man, those are good. Those are good ideas there.
Yes.
But brisket, hard picture to translate onto like projecting on a cloud. You need.
That's why there's no Harvey button.
Yes, that's the reason we found it.
That's it. Yeah. All right. Before I would take us way too far away from the topic at hand here. We're talking here today about I did get us way off topic. That was close. That started with you can run it in public cloud and and Microsoft Azure is coming. That was way off. So this particular blog article is about a new way to be able to run the Nutanix infrastructure. And that is using Nutanix Cloud Platform on Equinix Metal. Jirah, what in the world does that mean? Why are we talking about Metal?
We're talking about Metal because great software has got to run somewhere, right? And running somewhere means, I need to solve kind of traditional problems, power, ping, cooling, buying it, right? And that ability to take all of those in Equinix Metal and say it's a bare metal hardware as a service lets me solve really all of those with like kind of one fell swoop. So, well, and then go even beyond it, right? Like when I say like ping as a network connectivity requirement exists, connecting it to this, the article calls that Equinix Fabric, right? The real, formerly like packet network that really spans the Equinix data centers, very, very low latency, high throughput connectivity. That's also like a real enabling technology as well. So when I can get hardware from Equinix Metal, hardware as a service in their data centers connected to their backbone, that's a really, really crazy, potentially powerful offering.
Yeah, no, I agree. And so I know that we've got a lot of customers. I mean, and like us, we use Equinix as well. What kind of benefits do you think that they would get out of being able to do something like this?
Yeah, I mean, so almost everybody I talk to is thinking about X, as a service, right? So I want operationalizing. I want not having to make big purchases. Say a big hardware software purchase every 3 years. Like, what if it was just become X per month, right? So changing up how I buy and procure and pay for stuff, but then also like mobility, right? Like, I'm sure you hear the phrase too very often, like, I want to get out of the data center business. Well, there's lots of ways you can do that, right? Full on move everything to a stack of virtual machines up in public cloud is one way. Moving into Equinix is another way, right? Like that could be even more of a right fit for you. So get out of the data center business could just mean you quit being the data center admin, but you have lots of access to other people that are already really, really good at running data centers at scale, right? Hosting your workloads at scale. So when you have the ability to move from being like, this is my cabinet, or I even maybe run the power and cooling, to now I run nodes in someone else's data center and they worry about everything from the hardware down. Well, that's a big peace of mind that you get, right? And a lot of things you get to quit worrying about.
Right. I'll make you laugh, and then I promise I'll try to be on topic better. But I was just thinking, I wonder if I could have food as a service.
Well, I have good news for you.
Right. And that thought just kept going all the way down to, wow, an all you can eat buffet, it really is food as a service.
Yeah. I mean, different in the sense of like, not the buffets that I gravitate towards of like, I pay one price and I get more food, but for sure, kind of like a lot of cloud services, use more, pay more, for sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Sorry. I'm way off topic.
I mean, welcome to the XenTegra DoorDash and brisket themed podcast. It might even be more popular than what we already do.
Wait, can I consume it for free?
Like, yeah. Oh, it's good pull. Like a podcast.
You might get me on that one. All right. So yes, Equinix Metal, you talked about and integrated with Equinix Fabric, which again, they're saying connects customers to network, content, and cloud providers using the industry's largest infrastructure ecosystem. If you're already, utilizing Equinix in any way, this is another way for you to continue to use the Equinix Fabric to have connectivity not only to the public cloud, but I mean, hey, if you're in there, right, connectivity to your stuff too, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like that use case of, I have a certain whatever, like a video rendering server or like a mainframe where it's like physical and I have to give it a home in a data center. That seems like an easy use case of like, well, this is my gear. I have to maintain it and own it and be in my cabinet. But the rest of my workloads, right, can turn into like an as a service, right, that I get to toss onto, Equinix Metal, right, running Nutanix.
Man, your cabinet is so fancy. You got, that kind of equipment. And I was just talking about my tape drives.
I mean, no judgment for whatever hardware, you have to design around and solve for. Availability is availability at the end of the day.
That's right. That is right. So then the blog article goes into talking about the standard M3 large x86 servers and AMD CPUs. What are they talking about here, Jirah? What are we talking about?
Talking about just fantastic hardware as a service, right? So like AMD EPIC CPUs, you know, something they're EPIC. I don't know, the trademark, like AMD marketing will have to just run with that. I'm just the idea man. They're fantastic, right? They're very fast, very broad, high core count CPUs. Great at running a ton of workloads, right? VDI especially, but also high clock speed performance for databases, server virtualization, whatever you want to run there. So fantastic CPUs, great storage with, you know, NVMe platforms, and then tailorable amount of memory. So, you know, you can get the right solution for you and for your workloads kind of delivered as a service on both the hardware and software front through Equinix Metal.
So what about, let's say all my workloads in my cage, you know, that we talked about has the tape drives. Let's say it's all Intel processors for everything, and you know, Intel Celeron, you know.
Oh wow, big spender.
If I've got all Intel, can I still use this AMD stuff?
Oh, absolutely. And that even calls out one of the use cases later on in the article, right? Like, what would I use this for as a customer? Well, it means you could stand up a DR environment instantly, right? Replication allows for you to use those non-matching CPU architectures. I can replicate an Intel VM to an AMD cluster or vice versa without losing any sleep at all.
Wonderful. That's amazing. So we go into talk about some other benefits around the solution, reducing overhead and achieving predictable OpEx while lowering egress costs. What's an egress cost? Is that a female eagle? What is that?
Nice. So if I'm looking to relocate my workloads, right, I want to get rid of my on-prem Intel Celeron and tape drive based stack that I've been shackled to and married and running for several years. And I want to get to something more modern, right? So I'm looking to move my workloads. I completely derailed myself with that joke. That ability to relocate onto something that gives me operational costs without having to, you know, make a big purchase for, you know, the next 3 years, 5 years, whatever it is, makes it much more predictable, right? And kind of can flatten out that spend. Perfect. And then the egress part, meaning that if I look to move that into, say, like a public cloud environment, those are almost always metered on how much data do I send out of the cloud. Whereas that's the differentiator, right, with the Equinix powered offering is that you can enjoy a lower egress cost there, as this calls out.
I said I would be on topic. It hasn't happened yet, but that just made me think about when I thought about egress costs. That just made me think about, so they punish you for taking data out of the cloud, huh?
It's a good business model.
It is. So next is automating deployments while eliminating the need to refactor applications when moving between locations. So let's put that in other English, Jirah.
Yeah, I can think of tons of ways that automation would apply to this stack, both, hey, at the beginning, right, the way it comes into life with Nutanix Foundation. I can have clusters that go from like me, you know, getting these nodes in the on-demand portal to a running cluster very, very quickly, powered by automation from start to finish. But also, if I'm a Nutanix customer, well, then all the automation I've already written for like VM creation, replication, we've covered it before on other episodes, right? Like with crossplay, the way that I can do, you know, if this, then that automation within Nutanix without even having to open up a code editor and do more powerful CLI and API-based automation, all can apply then to my cloud-based deployment, right? My Equinix cloud deployment.
Well, so Andy's not here today, but I gotta say, for his sake, this better be good automation.
This would all be some say the best automation.
This better not be the bad stuff.
That would be weird. But this podcast is proudly anti-bad automation.
Yes. All right. The next one was to lower costs with reserve capacity for predictable workloads and have on-demand access and scalability for elastic workloads. So that's kind of like you do in a public cloud today, right?
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah. It's easy to imagine lots of customers that, if they maintain like a prod dev test environment, well, do I need all of those at the same time? Maybe not. If I do a monthly release of my software or do monthly big updates, maybe that ability to burst and say, I need an extra node or two for a while to test out, clone some VMs and do my testing and validation. And then once they're done and I'm back to just running in production, throw them away if I'm not developing on those systems actively, right? Or burstiness for seasonal workloads, virtual desktops, right? If it's tax season, I need a bunch more remote seats for CPAs to remote into and get access to software, or retail with end of year, all those kinds of bursty workloads, right? Why wouldn't you want to be in an environment where you can get more when you need it, but be able to commit to less for steady state?
Yes. So the next paragraph answers the question that I was going to ask, but I'll ask it anyway, just for fun. I'm used to using Prism to go in here and do all of my fancy things, including my good automation. Can I just continue to use the same tools with this solution?
Totally, man. Yeah, same look and feel, same Prism management console and access and infrastructure. Yeah, so that ability to, have us just a second availability zone, maybe managed by the same Prism Central you already use, perhaps. Super, super easy.
Well, what if I want to do something like move my VMs from my on-premise data center to this Equinix solution? Can I do that too?
Totally, right? So like that built-in VM replication, migration, whether it's live migration or like powered off like disaster recovery, all that's natively built into Nutanix, and that would apply to these nodes on Equinix as well.
So then, can I bring it back?
Totally, man. Reversing replication is it's right there natively in the box.
Nice. So I definitely like that part of the solution for sure. If I set this up as my DR, does that mean I can get rid of my tapes?
We'd want to probably have a business-centric conversation around like, what's your availability plan? But oh my gosh, I sure hope so. Let's talk about.
I've been waiting on something that would just take the place of the tapes, Jirah. Nothing's come yet.
Hard drives are pretty big now,
this
dude.
Article.
Nutanix objects nodes are massive now. Like, I think we can solve that problem. You're gonna love it.
All right. So the next piece of the article goes into tackling your most challenging use cases, and they talk through data center consolidation, on-demand elasticity, cloud adoption and migration, and disaster recovery. We've already kind of talked about disaster recovery, and we've already talked about some of the on-demand stuff. Let's talk through number 3, cloud adoption and migration. How does this help me adopt to cloud if it's not really cloud, Jirah?
Is it not really cloud, Harvey?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, with that ability to say, it's available on demand. It's it's something I can get operationally, and then using the Equinix locations, right, for where metal's available, I can even then get geographic presence, right, rapidly in a place where I needed it. So that's, I think, why it really scratches a lot of the public cloud itches, is to say, I need this here now for a certain duration or forever, but your choice, rapidly available, right, on demand. So
it is kind of like cloud.
I sure think so. And then also like they call it here, public cloud adjacency, right? So when you do need to get from your VMs out to like a public cloud service, or they even call out earlier, like a content repository or CDNs, those are all a hop away.
So the first one that was listed here, we'll go into that one a little bit more, data center consolidation. I know I'm out of order, but hey, I get to make the rules today.
What is an order, really?
So it talks about, with Nutanix on Equinix Metal, you can decommission and consolidate existing data centers or more easily accommodate mergers and acquisitions. Wow. This includes the ability to lift and shift traditional workloads without refactoring. What's refactoring, Jirah?
Oh, I thought you were going a different direction there. I had a whole other answer teed up. So refactoring would be like, breaking down an application to consume more basic services, right? So rather than like a giant next finish MSI installer that you run in a server, and that's like the one installer, you might, break that down to be like, well, I have a front end and I've got some middleware and I need load balancers at the front and databases at the back with different clustering. And converting a lot of those out of these giant sort of in-guest OS MSI installers down to more granular cloud services, right? Often containerized, and getting the ability to change up your availability model from, I run one server to maybe I run 3 of those web server front ends, and maybe I run 2 application middleware layers. Maybe I run 5 database backends, and I can change my availability and scale out each level of the application independently. It gives you a lot of agility as the application architect, but also is a whole ton of work. So
yeah,
one of the benefits of doing that on Nutanix is we can run both very well, right? So whether it's the MSI in a giant monolithic virtual machine, or the next gen app service running on containers with different availability models, different data persistence models, we can do both of those even on the same cluster very, very well, so that it lets you refactor those applications at your own pace, in an environment that you control.
Yeah, so we've definitely got a lot of customers that would be something very advantageous for. They've done a lot of having to refactor. I take this app that we created in-house, and we need to make it work somewhere else besides this Windows 2003 server we still got hanging out.
Backed up to the tapes, right?
Backed up to the tapes, you better believe it. And so kind of the other side of that spectrum is it talks about the ability to easier accommodate mergers and acquisitions. How does this make that easier, Jirah?
Yeah, that one, I really love the point that the article makes there around, we've always talked about Nutanix platforms as a very scalable technology, and they are. When you run that on-prem in like your own data center, that's certainly sort of like subject to your hardware procurement timelines. With this, that ability to say grow on demand is really much more unconstrained, right? I can just, I can wish for a new node and it kind of becomes available to me much more rapidly. And the way I can use that to say, oh, wait, what we're acquiring, what company, where? Okay, yeah, no problem. I'll just put in for 3 more nodes. We'll be able to replicate their VMs to our stack and then decommission their stack. Job's done. Can really make a lot of people's lives much easier.
So as an IT admin who's had to go through mergers and acquisitions before, you mean when they tell me this merger is going to happen, when they say, oh, it'll happen in 3 days, and really they meant 3 minutes, I can actually respond to that?
Man, all about empowering, right? Like, we want to help you be hopefully the opposite of, I think my record from customers I've worked with for like legacy Active Directory domains that are just sort of like hanging out there, not retired yet, is like 7 domains from like the last 6 acquisitions. Let's do the opposite of that.
Yes, please. Check that box. All right, the next piece is around a better solution for disaster recovery, which we already kind of hit on, but let's talk through the pieces of this. So, the article goes on to say Nutanix Cloud Platform on Equinix Metal extends the full Nutanix data protection stack to Equinix, including Nutanix AOS software license mobility, non-disruptive DR testing and cleanup, automated failover and failback. There's that automation word again. And the
Sounds like good automation.
The ability to connect all your distributed infrastructure with Equinix Fabric. So, Jirah, what in the world does all this mean?
I mean, it just sounds like an easier, simpler, more powerful DR offering, right? So that, license mobility means that we can use a software platform that's not tied to like the hardware it's currently running on. And when it makes sense to move that stack running your enterprise apps, it's portable. Non-disruptive DR testing and cleanup, my goodness, please and thank you, right? Like that's what we want to help every application owner be able to say, yeah, we do quarterly, monthly, weekly. Hey, how about more good automation, right? Like a nightly automated DR test, right? Of like, we have the latest snapshot. I power the VMs up in a bubble. I get health checks from all of them. DR test successful. Boom, throw them all away. And replication never even stopped while I did my test. And then when I do want to fail over, right, my runbook can already be written to say these VMs start first. Those VMs need to get re-IP'd. These can pull a new DHCP lease because they don't matter, or update the load balancer this way. Update all of that automation into a runbook, be able to just execute it, rapidly fail over, and then hey, fail back as well. And then when you do fail over and are running in Equinix Fabric, right, get fantastic network connectivity to all the other things that are in orbit around your applications. Just sounds like a better, more powerful, more simple, more thorough, hopefully, DR coverage from top to bottom.
Nice. So at the end here, it's got a way that you can find out more. And normally we say you can just go out to test drive it, Jirah. Why can't we do that today?
Well, in one sense you could, right? Because it's going to run regular AOS. So all the Prism will look and feel the exact same way. So the exact same software stack that you're familiar with from Nutanix, that's exactly what runs on Equinix Metal. Yeah, and beyond that, of course, Equinix would love to hear from you if you wanted to hear more about the solution and talk about how it fits your needs.
And that's the wonderful thing about it, right? You go out to test drive and you test drive what's already there. It's going to look and feel the exact same way running from Equinix that it does from your data center, that it does from AWS, that it does from Azure as soon as Jirah presses the button.
Sorry to keep letting you down there, Harvey.
Yeah, I know. It's probably sitting right in front of you, flashing too.
It's a real character flaw on my part.
I got one more for you, Jirah, that we haven't addressed out of this. That's kind of in this article, but not in the same way. I keep reading through here, and I've said it a few times. Nutanix Cloud Platform. That sounds differently than we were talking before. What's the difference there?
Yeah, so Nutanix Cloud Platform. We skipped over a blog post. Folks should go read it for the full rundown around some of our latest branding and marketing and packaging for our Nutanix software stack. So the cloud platform, right, lets you run your applications on a combination of Nutanix cloud infrastructure and cloud management. It's the same Nutanix you already know and love, with a few different three-letter acronyms attached to it that give customers even more mobility and flexibility to solve business problems.
Yep. And we should probably go back through that one day. You just mark that in your mind there so that we can do that. Just write yourself a sticky note and stick it right next to that Azure button.
There we go.
All right.
That's like putting my keys in the fridge.
Right. You'll find them when you get hungry, though.
Yeah, I sure will.
Jirah, thanks for joining me today and to go over this with us. We look forward to the next one with you, sir.
Yeah, man. Likewise, man.
You are full of knowledge, so we appreciate you sharing it with us.
Always a pleasure.
All right, thanks a lot, everybody, and don't forget, XenTegra's hosting Nutanix classes. We actually, I forgot to even bring this up. We normally do one a month. This month, we're starting with two. The first one is the same one. The first one is the same one that we always do around AOS and AHV, kind of what I call the Nutanix 101 course. This time, we are actually adding in a separate one, and I'll make you laugh, Jirah. We just went over how names have changed, right? This one is for Nutanix Era. What is the new name for Nutanix Era?
Oh, the Nutanix database platform?
Nutanix database, messing it up myself. Nutanix database platform. So definitely go out to XenTegra.com and sign up for the new workshop. We look forward to being able to teach everyone a couple new tricks that they don't know yet, and expand your knowledge of some of the other offerings that Nutanix has as well. So definitely looking forward to that. Jirah, thanks. We appreciate it, sir.
Dude, appreciate you. Talk to you later.
All right.